My name is Halar Azad and I'm the founder and CEO of MIXEAL. MIXEAL is a virtual reality software company incubated at National Incubation Center, Hyderabad. We create virtual reality, metaverse applications and games for our clients. We have also created a virtual reality cricket game which is played by thousands of users around the world today. First of all, I want to tell you why I started working in virtual reality. So in my university, I had to start working on my final year project. So at the time I used Google Cardboard, which you might have heard about. It's basically a cardboard where you put your mobile and run a virtual reality app, and you can see the world of VR in the simplest form. So I started exploring that, and some people had created amazing applications for that platform. When I started seeing, and especially particularly I remember two of them, one being InMind and InCell. Both of these applications, so for example, InMind was a representation of the human brain in virtual reality. So basically what you would see inside a virtual world is the whole architecture and structure of human brain. You can go inside it, and you can also see labels around the environment explaining different parts of the brain. So what got me really excited about this is the learning potential of this. So basically you might be familiar with the concept of computer architecture, with the deep concepts of science. They are sometimes very hard to understand. With this technology, I realized that learning and education is going to be revolutionized very soon, and I couldn't help get fantasized about what the future generations are going to see or learn with this technology. So at the time, because I was a software engineering student, and I personally had problem understanding the architecture of computer. So because I was already inspired by such apps like InMind and InCell, what I wanted to create is a virtual reality app which you could use to understand the computer architecture. So at the time, what I did was I created a physical representation of the internal workings of the computer. So you would see like one room will be dedicated to random access memory, one room will be like the monitor, one room will be like the interrupter. So, and you as the user would be a bus, and you might be familiar with the concept of buses. The buses basically travel data from one component to another in computers. So you would behave as you would work as a bus inside that virtual representation of the computer, and you will like literally travel data from one part to another. So the process was, when we press a key on the keyboard and it appears on the screen, what happens between that process. And it's a huge process. There's so many things that are happening behind the scenes that we never know, that we are never familiar with. But because, for example, if you send, I'm living in Hyderabad, if you send a parcel from here to United Kingdom, it will go through so many places. And the process when you press a key and it appears on the computer screen, it is far more complex than this sending something to United Kingdom from Hyderabad. So it is very important. It was very important for me to try and showcase it in a way that it simplifies this process and you could understand it. So what I did was I also added audio instructions in 4 languages: English, Urdu, Sindhi and Pashto. So it was kind of a localized form of education. So I won a few awards in the university with it, but because virtual reality wasn't very popular at the time, so I couldn't turn it into a business idea. But since then, it was in 2016. Since then, I have been working in virtual reality, and I am so proud of this technology and the amazing work that the developers around the world have done in this technology. So the future, like what I've seen in these years, like 6 or 7 years now, is that the future is more clear than ever as far as virtual reality is concerned. Us, MIXEAL, we want to create the most engaging virtual reality cricket experience for the metaverse, and we want users to be able to enjoy cricket, whether they are professional cricketers or even if they have never played cricket before. Yeah, I think the reason launching startups is important because the kind of progress that you have seen as you know, just a normal person in technology, it hasn't happened because one person, 2 people, or like 10 people started creating something. It's happened because of the progress in innovation or in overall humanity. So if we want to continue this progress, we want to be able to bring new ideas into the world, and we want to be able to innovate on these ideas. That's like, you know, the wider goal. But on a personal level, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, if you want to be a successful businessman, you want to be a successful leader, then you have to try and solve one of these problems in the world. There are so many problems today. Like if we started counting, we will need years to be able to finish all the problems, like in all different industries and all different technologies. So it's really important. What I would recommend is that in whatever industry you want to launch a startup, you need to familiarize yourself first. You need to gain the necessary skills. So for example, if you want to launch a software product, you really need to understand how software business works. You might want to learn coding. You might want to go get a job in a software house first, try to see how the development is done, and then eventually you can start working on your own product. So getting that prior experience is super important. So I have worked in the industry for like around 4 years before I started MIXEAL. So it has helped me a lot because I learned so many things, not just technically but socially as well, that have helped me in this startup. So that's what I would recommend you.